So, you've been doing your inner work, and yet the thing you want the most in this world feels like it's a million miles away. The thing you want the most feels like it's very far from you. And I want to tell you, Fre, sometimes as for modimo wa go utlwi, sometimes as for badimo ba go utlwi. It's not that your ancestors are ignoring you. And recently I've grown to learn and realize that our desires are actually not too big. Our desires are not too far away from us. The block is how we are treating them. The block is how we treat our desires. The block is how we are treating the very things we are asking for. So today we are going to talk about why you are secretly terrified of your own prayers being answered and how to finally let them in. I had this realization recently that changed everything for me. I had this realization that changed everything. I looked at how most of us approach our goals, how most of us approach our healing, our dream lives, and I realized that we treat our desires like opponents. We treat our desires like opponents. Think about it. We use language like, okay, I have to fight for my dreams. We act like the desire is in a boxing ring with us, and we are readily having our fists up and trying to beat it into submission. We think that we can only have it if we struggle hard enough. We think that we can only have it if we bleed enough, or maybe if we get incredibly lucky. But when you treat your desire like an opponent, what are you actually telling the universe? What are you actually telling the universe? What you actually telling the universe and what you actually declaring is that this thing doesn't belong to me. That's what the universe is hearing, that this thing doesn't belong to you. This thing is against me. That's what you're declaring. We are at war, and your desire is not something you have to conquer. It's a frequency. It's a frequency you're supposed to merge with, but you can't merge with something you have your fists up against. So why do we fight the very thing that we are crying out for? Why are we fighting the things that we are crying out for? Because there is a silent fear that comes and creeps in every single time you think about your desire. There's a fear that creeps in, and it's not fear of failure. No, it's not fear of failure. It is the fear of who you have to become to hold it. It's the fear of who you have to become to hold this desire. The version of you that already has that desire, that version of you is a stranger. The version of you that already has that desire, that version of you is mysterious. And honestly, it might be the scariest thing for you right now. Think about it. Think about the version of you who already has the healthy relationship. Think about the version of you that already has that thriving business. The version of you that already has that inner peace. That version of you never second guesses their intuition. That version of you chooses themselves over and over again without any guilt. That version of you has strong boundaries. That version of you says no to toxic people. That version of you is okay with not having control over everything. That version of you is okay with not being in control of everything. And that's because that version of you trusts the universe completely. That version of you trusts spirit completely. If you have spent your whole life, your entire life being a people pleaser, being anxious, being in control and second guessing yourself, that new version of you feels like a threat to your current identity. That version feels like a threat to your current identity, and your ego is fighting. Your ego is fighting to keep the old version of you alive. Your ego is fighting to keep the old version of you alive. And I know this because I lived it. My biggest desire for a very long time, my biggest desire for a very, very long time was to share my knowledge, my spiritual experiences, and help people heal in on a larger scale. And I knew I had this calling, right? I knew I had this calling, but my biggest fear was doing exactly what I'm doing right now, sitting in front of this camera, being seen, being perceived. I would pray for the outcome, but I was terrified of the vehicle. I was terrified of what it takes to make me that person. I realized that the version of me who is successful, who is a successful spiritual guide and a teacher, is highly visible. He is unapologetic. He speaks his truth even if people judge him. The old me wanted to hide in the shadows and stay safe. The old me and the new me were in war. The old me and the new me were in a war, and I had to finally realize that the outcome I was looking for was sitting on the exact opposite of fear. The outcome I was looking for was on the other side of my fear. I had to let the hiding version of me go so that the guiding version of me can step in. So I want to ask you today, what is the desire you are treating like an opponent? What is the desire that you're treating like an opponent? Who is the version of you who already has it? And what are you so afraid of letting go of to become them? Stop fighting your dreams. Put your fists down. Put down the fists. Start being familiar with that mysterious and powerful version of you. That mysterious and powerful version of yourself. Start introducing yourself to him or her. Start introducing yourself to that person. And if this message is planting a seed for your path, comment down below. Infinite growth. This is Spirit of Pula, the Spirit of Rain. Pula is the name.